92 Dodge D350 Cummins. It's been sitting about, 14 years. Let's see how many miles are on this. Can't see yet. It's in pretty rough shape. This building has had a lot of water come into it. And the outer duals are toast. Nobody's gonna mount a tire on that. This is what I found opening the hood. Looks real nice so far. Very encouraged. About to try and crank this thing up. Got 2 batteries hooked up, both of not enough capacity. Gonna put some coolant in. The oil is full. Take 2. First start in 15 years, hopefully. No. Nothing. Okay, so the ignition switch isn't working. So I'll do it the loser way. Give her a tickle of the Cosby sauce. Where's that shit? I don't think we're getting 12 volts to the solenoid. We'll deal with that in a minute. So she barked off. Now we'll see if we can get fuel up to her. All right, we're gonna try again. The fuel shutdown is not getting juice, so I'm jumping it. I loaded the new fuel filter with ATF, and we'll see if that works. pressures. Says it has a full tank. Not charging. But it's running. Let's see if the transmission wants to work. Yep. And I even got brakes, even though the pedal's kind of not wanting to come back up. We'll worry about that. Good old Cummins. Alright, we're on day 2. Still no crank from the key. It's about 30 degrees. Let's see if it will cold start. I gotta get new tires before I can get on the road, because these are done. And before I go to the tire place, I gotta use this guy to get the wheels off and change the front calipers. So let's see how that goes. Fortunately, reman calipers were 30 bucks plus $18 core. All right, 1 down, 1 to go. I replaced the ignition switch, cost $40. Now I don't have to hot wire anything. Changing the oil now on day 96. Takes one of these to fill it up, so should be good. It wasn't too bad, but it could have been better. So I'm going to change the brakes now. But Napa needs me to find out what size they are first. What? Glad my eye wasn't there. I don't even know what that was. Now hopefully this bearing comes out of here. The other side's stuck. Shoot, I guess I better put it in neutral. Well, the drum doesn't look too bad. There's no ridge. It came off easily. And that's good news. But that is definitely leaking right there. And you can see, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't smell like nasty gear oil, so it's definitely the brake cylinder on this side. The wheel seal is real bad on the other side. I'll show you that. I mean the axle seal. You can see the wet rim and the throw out on the tire. So that's getting changed too. But this one's stuck on. I gotta figure out how to get it off. The bearing is apparently seized to the shaft, so I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. Well, I took out the bearing. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but they got lines on them right here, and they're a little blued in the middle. So I figured it's time to replace them. this is not something I like to do often, especially on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace them. I figure better safe than sorry. Well, it never fails for me. I always ding the shit out of the surfaces in there. There's a ding you can see right there, and I dinged it right here. So I'm gonna take a chisel to this, knock that little edge off so the race sits flat. And I'm gonna take a round file or semi-round file and work these out. I think there's a couple more dings, but I'll get them off. You can consider this a tech tip or not, but what I like to do to save on my brass drift there is take this old race to the grinder and reduce that outer edge some, so that I can actually use it to drive the new race in, and that I can actually get it back out when I'm done driving it in. So, you know, use that tip if you'd like, or not. By most accounts I've seen online, you know, if not all of them, since this is a full floater, you tip the truck up to one side. You don't pack these, you just install them dry. Put your seal in, of course, and put grease on that, of course, but tip the truck up higher on this side in this instance, and dump some oil in there so that it lubes the bearings. And then just once you're done with the other side, also fill it as normal. So we'll do that. Now what I will do is take some of that and drizzle just, you know, not a whole lot, enough so it doesn't make a mess on the ground, but I will drizzle that so this isn't completely dry when I'm rolling it around, because I'm gonna have to do that. I mean, not drive it, but just roll it on the axle. So I will put a little bit of lube in there, but I'm not packing it with grease because I don't want it to contaminate the gear oil. I also found part of the reason why the e-brake wasn't working. I'm wondering if I should get a hardware kit, because that's kind of chewy, as Mordsky would say. The rest of it looks okay. It's been soaked in brake fluid for apparently a lot longer than I thought. So, I mean, the shoes have good meat on them, but they weren't doing anything. Definitely were not doing anything. So I'm gonna clean this up. Probably leave the, well, I don't know. There's cores on the brake shoes. I'm debating whether to take both sides off, but I'll probably regret that if I do it. So yeah, I think I'll probably leave them on, because this is a funky setup. I've never seen a spring like that on there before. So yep, I think I'm gonna leave at least one side on. Here we are on the driver's side. Before anybody yells at me about jack stands, there they are. Anyhow, this thing has been leaking so long, it's ridiculous. But the problem has always been that this outer, here we are on the driver's side, is stuck. Before anybody yells at me about jack stands, there they are. I'm pretty sure, anyhow, that it's not a matter of this thing, the brake shoes being adjusted out too far, because the other side came right off. The problem has always been nowhere near close to this outer properly adjusted, even stuck on the hub with the blown cylinder or whatever. I'm pretty sure you can see that it's not a matter. I scraped about the brake shoes being adjusted 4 or 5 pounds too far, because the other side Georgia came right clay off. Those were and gear oil mix close to off the outside, adjusted, even with the blown cylinder,
as well as the inside of this wheel.
You can see
just so it would
I scraped
balance
about
halfway decent.
4 or 5
Probably gonna
pounds
have
of
to get it rebalanced
Georgia
again.
clay
Pressure wash that
and
wheel
gear oil mix
after I
off the outside and degreaser. But yeah, so
as well as the inside of this wheel, just so it
see
would
if we can get this
balance
off.
halfway decent. Probably gonna have to get it rebalanced again. I'm gonna pressure wash that wheel after I soak it with some degreaser.
But yeah, so yep, we'll see if we can get this piece off.
Gotta get my sandwich open first before I get my hands dirty. Battery's going dead. That's about it on that one. That is it. Okay. No problem. Well, be careful with this gasket. They're hard to find. Memory seems to tell me this is a 2 9/16 socket, and it appears the locking mechanism tab thing is missing on this side. So I guess it wasn't in there last time I took this axle out. So I guess it's been disappeared for a while. I need to get something to replace it, because definitely don't want, this is the side that would come loose, so I definitely don't want it to come loose. Oh, ouch. So, here we go. And yes, we are stuck. See how easy that turns? The brake shoes are definitely not holding it up. Crap. I don't know how I'm going to get that out of there, because I have tried slide hammer here. I think I tried slide hammer here. The only thing I haven't done is made an adapter that bolts here and slide hammered there. But I think what I'm going to have to do is destroy this bearing here to have a chance at getting the damn thing off. Hopefully the inner's not stuck as well. Boy, that would really be bad. But that one should come out no problem. And if it is stuck, I can cut it off or whatever, because it's the taper's this way on the inner one. So, but that's, you know, that's why this wheel seal has been bad so long, is because I just couldn't get the darn thing off, and I didn't know what to do, and I needed to drive. So we'll see here. I'm gonna try whacking here with this. I really don't want to. I hope I don't hit these studs at all. But I don't know what else to do besides some really stuff that I don't want to do. And I don't believe it has budged at all. Maybe I'll take the drift and tap it in and see if that does it. This thing is stuck. All I can think is that it wasn't tight enough before I got it, of course. And maybe that it spun on there and seized. But I'm really at a loss to figure out a way to yank that fucker out of there. That fluid looks really good too. So we'll see. I'm gonna try beating on the drum a little bit, but I'm not gonna beat it too hard. I really don't want to have to buy a new drum and press these studs out and blah blah blah, because I just really don't want to do that. Shoot, and I can't see. I really don't like beating on brake drums. So I'm already screwing it up, so I don't think I'm gonna keep doing that. So next thing I know, I'll have a broken drum. I ain't trying to buy one of those. I remembered an idea somebody gave me on a forum a long time ago, because this has been stuck for years. What I'm gonna do is jack the axle back up, take the stand out on this side over here,
Hopefully that one won't collapse or whatever. But I'm gonna keep the jack under the differential. I'm gonna let the truck down on this tire, and it's turned outward so that it can put max force this way on the hub. And I'm gonna shake the truck back and forth and see if that will break the bearing loose. Already I'm not so confident. I'll get the big hammer, see if that'll work. There goes nothing. Damn, that hurt. Nah, I don't think this is gonna work. No, that ain't gonna work. I don't want to beat on my brand new tires anymore either. What I think is gonna have to happen is I'm gonna have to take this wheel back off, of course, and then get in there with some heat. I really don't want to do that, but I'm gonna drain the rear diff so that it don't start a fire. And get in there with some heat. Maybe that'll free it up. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of at a loss, because if I melt it all together, then I really won't be able to get it off. Alright, so I brought the torch out. Didn't really want to do that because this whole thing is just smoking hot at the moment. But what I'm doing, and I'm not putting the camera in front of it so I don't get slag on the lens and whatnot, but well, let me show you. Hold on. So what I've decided to do is melt away this part, and then maybe these rollers will come out and the whole chute match will come out. Maybe. We'll see. I hope it works, because otherwise I'm going to have to melt this surface, and I don't really want to put that much heat on the axle tube. But you know, I guess if I have to, I will, but I'm trying to just, I can replace the hub easily, but the axle is not quite as easy to replace. So let's see how it goes.
All right, so let's see what happens when I hit it with the hammer now. Absolutely nothing. I'm gonna have to find a way to get those rollers out of there, or melt that surface I said I didn't want to melt. Because, yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see if it'll come out from the back. That ain't moving yet. So I have spent about an hour and a half with this guy, just melting the freaking hell out of this. And broke the drum, so I have a new one on order. But this is freaking ridiculous. I have never had to deal with something like this. I don't know if this axle is still gonna be worth a crap after I do this. So, you know, we'll see. All right. So, after a lot of cursing and self-doubt, finally got all the rollers melted out of this piece of crap. Here they are on the ground, you know, in various states of existence. Here's one. Anyway, this thing's still about 8,000 degrees, so I'm gonna wait a few minutes, go walk the dog, drink a beer, then I'll pull it off. Still gotta replace the drum though, because I busted the freaking hell out of it. So, oh well, you know, that's what happens. All right. That looks wonderful, doesn't it? Yank the seal. I guess this big boy is seized on the damn thing too. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that bitch off. But since the hub's off, it won't be so hard, I reckon. Damn, I beat the hell out of that. It's like an octagon. But, you know, like I said, sometimes that's the way it goes. And, yeah, look at that. For sure, that axle seal was leaking. I don't think the you know, I don't think that, what the hell do you call it? That wheel cylinder, I don't think that was leaking on this side. Maybe a little bit, but nah, it's mostly just this axle seal right here. So, yep, we'll get that taken care of. Get everything back together. Let's see. Nah, It ain't hot anymore. Hopefully the threads are still okay. I'll clean them up with a wire wheel. Still got to find that locking tab, but I got to find out or figure out a way to cut this race off now without damaging the axle. You know, of course I'll do that, but yeah, this was an extreme pain in the butt. There's what's left of the outer bearing. You can see I torched it off pretty well. I'm cutting a slot so I can sort of expand it because I don't want to mess these threads up. We'll see how that goes. Still caught a little bit, so I'm going to grind some more. Alright, boogered the threads a little bit, right there and there. I guess I'll go get a little bitty file, trying to clean those up a little bit. But for the most part, it turned out okay. The nut doesn't go all the way up there anyway, so yeah, you know. Got this little file set from Harbor Freight. I don't know if they sell it anymore, but it sure was handy to have. I cleaned the threads up a bit. I hope that is enough. I don't want to take any more than I have to off. So we'll see how that works. Hopefully that nut will go on there pretty easily. When you take apart your brakes on one of these Dana 70s, make sure you don't mess these things up, because you might need to reuse them. I severely messed this one up on the other side trying to install the shoe the wrong way, or the spring rather. So just keep that in mind. You might have to reuse this even if you have a new hardware kit.
Since this thing sat so long, the tone wheel rusted on the rear ABS. I sanded the teeth. Hopefully that'll be enough, because it kept setting off the anti-lock warning. Okay, the axle lock is in, and apparently you do drive it through the nylon up this nylock nut here, and I guess that's the way it goes. Hopefully it won't do the same thing it did before. I wiped off the axle because it's been sitting out for a couple weeks now. This is a metal gasket, so I'm gonna put this on there because I've already had this out at least twice, and I'm sure somebody else had it out, you know, many more times than that. So, you know, this is not gonna hurt anything. So here we go.